And I'm showing up as an investor for the last 30 years, consulting for as many years, coaching businesses, technology firms for the last 15 years. And I started a mentoring program that we call Peers on Demand as a way to be able to connect leaders with trusted advisors and be able to do business, refer business, do joint ventures. Because of two authors that I read, one of which is Stephen Cutler, who's author of many books, one of which is Flow. And recently he's coming out with a new book, February 28th, which is called, it's on longevity and aging. And he says, as we age, it gets hard. It is hard. And I thought, oh no, what do I have to look forward to? And another one that I just read today, he quotes Phil Stutz, who's a psychiatrist, and he says, life is pain, uncertainty, and hard work. Pain, uncertainty, and hard work. And so they coined it PUH, P-U-H. And so I think resilience is being anti-PUH. So yeah, you're right. No two brains are the same. And they're intertwined. And they're intertwined with multiple intelligences that are controlled by the physical aspect of the prefrontal cortex, the motor cortex, the sensory cortex, certainly the amygdala. All of those are the physical aspects. But what the mind is comprised is multiple intelligences. And it came out of Howard Gardner, who discovered 7. I've discovered 18 intelligences. And one of those intelligences has to do, of course, with how we show up in the world, how the emotions affect us. And so when you intertwine all those intelligences, that makes the person unique to the situation and how they show up to the external environment. There's an internal environment, an external environment, and how well you manage and focus on your internal strengths. And there's only 3 actually that I came across that are comprised of those 18 intelligences. That's how you show up in the world, either strong, weak, or however that requires for that situation. I think it substantiated what I've been thinking. There's multiple layers of the brain. And first, it's the physical part. So we start with the physical. The physical part, of course, is our brain that has multiple cortexes. And there's actually 3 primary that I have access to, but others that I don't, like the amygdala, their deep mind. And that brain is comprised of multiple intelligences. That is the mind itself. And out of those, I explored a lot more because, what does this mean? And the combination of all of this allows us to show up in COVID situations or the Ukrainian situations. That mixture, depending on how we show up, allows us to show up in the external world. And that showing up is how we exercise those intelligences. So there's 3 phases: the physical part, which is the cortex, the mind part, which is the multiple intelligences, and how we rejuvenate, exercise those intelligences to be able to show up better, to be able to respond better, to actually get to a flow state. We really don't want to be in a fight state. We want to be in a focus state that leads us to a flow state. And a flow state is when we are in control, we get our results, and we continuously get better.